Hola, ¿cómo están, my compañeros? Please watch and examine. These females are trying to empower women, and one of the main proponents of this legislation just totally, I feel like she was rude to her.
Chairman DeLauro, I actually wanted to ask if you might be able to talk a little bit about the timeline for the appropriations process and the spending bills. I know that's also a really important thing that's going on right now.
Well, why don't we come back to that if we can, if there are questions that have to do with the subject.
So instead of empowering a young female journalist and giving her a little bit of a little gold nugget, a little gold story she could take, write something up, she totally makes her feel like nothing. She makes her feel like she's absolutely nothing. They go on to answer this question by this gentleman on the left. He's going to be speaking to Nancy Pelosi, and she, the whole time, feels like that he implies that businesses do not want the act to pass. And as she's listening to the question, she feels like he's telling her that she does not want the bill to pass, and it comes off very strange.
The day, yes.
My question was on these business groups, and I sent a letter to Speaker Pelosi, I guess, earlier this week, sort of opposed the Paycheck Fairness Act, citing it could threaten bonuses and negotiating, and what your responses were to that.
You're mistaking me for someone else. Perhaps it's the mask. You said I threatened? No. Businesses have threatened.
Business groups have threatened.
Oh, business groups.
Like they oppose, yes.
He's going to go on to explain that business groups, Stanford Business, Harvard Law Business, Harvard Business School, these business groups, they are saying that this legislation will handicap business. They're saying that this legislation will actually destroy Christmas bonuses. This woman in the middle says, no, it's not going to destroy Christmas bonuses. And then this gentleman on the right jumps up and says, yes, it will. If all the women don't get bonuses, none of the men get bonuses.
But the speaker will also reply, but keep in mind that business groups have been opposed to minimum wage. They were, the business people have talked about how the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act was going to be raise all this litigation. Untrue. There was a gentleman on the floor today who talked about bonuses. This is where the Christmas bonuses were at risk. It's a lie. They're not at risk. The Christmas bonuses are. Go ahead.
They may be at risk. You can't give all the men bonuses and not the women.
So she said it's a lie. The bonuses aren't at risk. And then this gentleman jumps up. Virtue signaling, trying to signal, virtue, check it out, I got some virtue. I'm willing to handicap a whole entire economy in order to make sure things are fair.
It's a lie. They're not at risk. The Christmas bonuses are. Go ahead.
They may be at risk. You can't give all the men bonuses and not the women.
So
you can't give discriminatory bonuses.
I don't know, Madam Speaker.
Discriminatory bonuses based upon somebody's work performance. It's the very definition of discrimination. To discriminate, I guess that discernment is not discriminate, but to judge somebody based upon their merit is not a bad thing.
You're getting the letters.
Your remarks, I think, well said.
So.
And I apologize for the mask-induced mix-up. I apologize. Sometimes it's a little hard with the mask.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought you said reference to that. Anyway.
No, my apologies. I'm sorry, ma'am?
Did you move? You're still there from this morning?
Yeah. No, I just sit here so no one else can ever have to see me.
But we've had all kinds of letters, and everyone who spoke today on the floor introduced a letter. I introduced one with hundreds of organizations who are involved in economic opportunity for women who are in supportive of this effort. Most of all, the women of the United States and their families are supportive of the legislation.
Unless their families are members of large business organizations that are in the know.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Thanks. Here, I can go. I'm going back to those too.
You know that whenever things feel as they were feeling towards the end of this press conference, that there's a bit too much pomposity in the room. It's just, there's so, or is it lies? What is it? What is the aura? I don't know. But it just is not a place that would want to be. They all seem like
Oregon.
Every single one of these people wish that they could be anywhere but here. They're trying to celebrate the passage of wonderful legislation. It should be awesome. You should be waving your flag like, oh man, we're getting it done. But the fact that they're being so shady is it not obvious that they're doing something nefarious?
Were involved in economic opportunity for women who are supportive of this.
They look like a group of criminals trying to sneak out of 7-Eleven with candy they just pilfered.
Effort. Most of all, the women of the United States and their families are supportive of the legislation.
The voters, we vote. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll let you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, the voters. He said, and the voters. Yeah, the voters. Yeah, the voters don't even.
Here, I can go. I'm going back to votes too, so I can. Although I don't care.
Liars.